Hi, hello. Hopefully you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in yet again. I can't say thank you enough to the people who have liked and subscribed. It's truly been a blessing having YouTube as a platform to teach other people tarot, or to just let you know what I know and what I've been studying. So I digress. The last card we did was Arcanum 18, which was the moon, which was a very celestial card and was all about powerful yin energy and the celestial mother. So now we're getting into that powerful yang energy, which some people might describe as big dick energy. Yes, Arcanum 19, big dick energy, or rather the sun. Okay, so the sun card is yang energy, which, is basically considered male, but not necessarily. It's more of a projecting, productive type of energy. And this is life-giving, right? The sun is the giver of life. It's also a provider, right? And it's interesting because, we've got some nudity on both of these cards. So this also deals with the vulnerability of providing something for those that are vulnerable, that require assistance and guidance. The sun card is also one of interconnectedness, of really helping other people in need, humanitarian aspects. And it's really interesting too, because on this card here in the Tarot de Marseille, there's two semi-nude figures, and one of them even has a little tail, so it hasn't necessarily evolved from its primal nature. And then there's another person on that card too that doesn't have a tail, that's aiding that person that hasn't ascended yet. So it's really interesting to see the dynamic, the interconnectivity, and really the assistance from the sun, which is essentially the assistance of growth. The sun card is really, really significant of growth. A lot of the times when you get the sun card in a reading, it also indicates abundance, right? Because the sun produces all sorts of things. It produces crops. It produces an abundant amount of food, of life, etc. So yes, the celestial father, the life giver. This could also indicate your father, literally, and about the connection between you and your father. Maybe some of because there's a little wall here, maybe some of the boundaries and the structures that your father set up for you. Maybe the emotional unavailability that your father set up for you as well. Because there's walls in both, but there's also growth from that as well. The realization that leads to that larger point of growth. So in the sun card too, I know on the Tarot de Marseille, there's 6 little notches here, and the 6 in the tarot deals with family. So this can also deal with family connections, how you connect with your family, who is the provider for your family. A lot of the times when you get the sun card in a reading too, it softens a lot of the transitions. It makes transitional cards such as the Tower, or transitional cards like Arcanum 13, which is aptly known as the Death card, a little bit smoother. It's interesting too because the sun card is really a card of giving too. So who are you giving to? Who are you aiding and assisting? Sometimes when the sun card becomes a little bit much to handle, it can be very overwhelming. As we know, sometimes being out in the sun too long can leave you dazed and confused. The sun can also be extremely oppressive and overbearing. Oppressive, like the patriarchal aspects that we see in a lot of overbearing yang energy. So really interesting, the sun has its positive points, but it also has its overbearing points as well. Just like the moon card has its generative, creative points, but also the points of depression or solitude or subconscious aspects rising to the surface, creating mental difficulties. So there are polarities between the two. The Sun card is interesting too because it also hints at rebirth. So if you went through a period of, solitude and regeneration, or even restructuring your patterns, the Sun is the life giver, the new life that's really reinstated into your present state. So really interesting stuff. I think that the Sun is also related to stability. So if you've been worried about finances, or if you've been worried about any sort of material concerns, the Sun is a really good card to get. That signifies that you'll pull through, especially if you're getting these in relationship cards. This is mutual understanding, or maybe your assistance is needed in regards to your partner. Maybe your partner needs your help. Maybe your friend needs some help. Maybe your family member needs some help. So reach out and help them out. Or maybe you're the one that needs help, and maybe someone from your family or a partner will offer their assistance to you. The Sun card is really a life giver, but can also be a lot of energy to deal with as well. How do you feel about the Sun? A lot of the times the Sun, if you're looking for maybe a time frame in a reading, can also indicate summer, obviously. So taking that into account as well. Anyway, thanks again for watching. This was Arcanum 19. We're going to be dealing with Arcanum 20, which is a big one for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your plans are for summer. And you can put them down in the comments as per usual. And if you're thinking about booking a reading, or if you need a little bit of guidance, if you pulled the Sun and you're like, I don't necessarily know what this means, go ahead and book a reading at hallofvisions.com. I'll be able to help you out. So take care, and make sure you wear sunscreen. Bye.